In Guanyan's grove, his greed won't cease. Southern tides bring no release. Schemes cloud his sight. On Bodhi Peak, he learnt life's worth is peace. So speaks the wise words on the Black Bear Guai. Today we're going to be diving into the mythology and lore of not only the Black Bear Guai and his position within Black Myth Wukong, but also the Black Wind King, whom I believe is the same person or entity as the Black Bear Guai, just in another form, and we'll also go over the Great Grey Wolf known as Lingzuxi, how the hierarchy here within Blackwind Mountain is established following the days of Sun Wukong's death, and how the Destined One finds these deities here in Blackwind Mountain, protecting the mountain and the three bells from anyone who dares approach them. Now, in a previous video, I covered the story of Elder Jinchi and how his greed led to his death and the destruction of Guanyin Temple. His tale of willing to kill for the Great Golden Kasaya, resulting in an entire life of devotion being undone, is only half of the history that echoes here deep within Blackwind Mountain. I recommend you check that video out, as well as maybe consider subscribing for some more Black Myth Wukong lore videos. The other half is continued by the Black Bear Guai. Now, before we go over the current state of the mountain and how the Black Wind King returned, retaking it as his own small kingdom, let's first discuss some events within Journey to the West. That is, of course, the novel Black Myth Wukong is based off of. This would give a much deeper understanding of every boss in Yao Guai you run into within the game, coming to a much more satisfying understanding of everything going on. And it of course explains more of Blackwind Mountain. Now, the Destined One travels to the mountain centuries after Sun Wukong's death. Yet despite this, Wukong's actions have left a deep impact on this mountain and the many Yao Guai that roam it. Within the story of Journey to the West, the Black Bear Guai, also known as Blackwind Demon, was a very close friend of Elder Jinchi. In fact, the Blackwind Demon had taught the abbot of Guanyin Temple how to reach the great age of 270 years old through a form of magic, thus allowing the monk to achieve longevity. The night Guanyin Temple caught fire thanks to the failed plot of killing the Tan monk and Sun Wukong while they slept, the Black Bear Demon, who is described to not be entirely evil, awoke from his cave, and upon seeing the magnificent black clouds bellowing from the temple, followed by the thunderous screams of the monks who were trapped within its blaze, the Black Bear decided to go and help them. While he initially showed up to lend them a hand, he would catch a glimpse of the coveted Golden Kasaya, and with this glance, his plan of aid was completely abandoned. He took the unguarded Golden Kasaya for himself, and he left the temple to fend for itself. The following day, Elder Jinchi would commit suicide thanks to neither Sun Wukong or Tan monk being killed, and having no idea where the Golden Kasaya had gone. Despite the Elder Jinchi and his two plotters, Guanxi and Guanmo, believed to all be dead, the Tan monk demanded the Golden Kasaya be returned to him. Giving the Kasaya over to Elder Jinchi in the first place only happened because of Sun Wukong's recklessness. So, the Tan monk tightened the golden circlet around the monkey's head, and he commanded him to go and retrieve the Golden Kasaya from whoever took it. Now, just a side note, the golden circlet on Wukong's head was provided to the Tan monk from Buddha. Sun Wukong listened, and he followed his master, the Tan monk, but his playful, mischievous nature would often get the better of him, making it very difficult to get the great Monkey King to focus or to listen at times. So the circlet was placed on his head as a way to tighten on him, causing great pain and forcing him to relent on whatever it was he was doing, allowing the Tan monk to somewhat control him. Thankfully for him, he didn't have to go too far in terms of looking for where the Golden Kasaya had gone off to. As luck would have it, the Black Bear Guai had decided to host a great banquet for himself, and he invited two characters that are vital to this portion of the story. One of them was the great old Lingzuxi, and the other was Elder Jinchi. The Black Bear had no idea the Elder Monk had died as a result of his shame in the Black Bear's decision to take the Golden Kasaya. Wukong would initially attend this banquet in the form of Elder Jinchi and attempted to steal the Golden Kasaya back, but his cover was blown, resulting in he and the Black Bear Guai getting into a glorious fight. As luck would have it, the two of them were equally matched, with Wukong unable to subdue the Black Bear Guai just long enough to take back the Kasaya. The fight would last until afternoon, and would only end once the Black Bear disengaged and retreated into his cave. Refusing to return to the Tan monk empty-handed, Sun Wukong approached Bodhisvara Guanyin for help. She would agree, and the pair would return to the Black Bear's cave. Bodhisvara Guanyin is shown here in this cutscene with the Black Bear Guai bowing before her, which we'll explain a little more in just a second. Sun Wukong, now allied with Bodhisattva Guanyin, the two of them would be greeted at the Black Bear's cave entrance by the old Lingzuxi, the ally of the Black Bear. Sun Wukong would kill Lingzuxi. Following his death, Wukong and Bodhisattva Guanyin would discover some pills the old Lingzuxi was preparing for the Black Bear Guai. Ever so cunning as they were, the duo devised a genius plan. Bodhisattva would take the form of the now dead old Lingzuxi and transform Sun Wukong into one of the pills that was being prepared for the Black Bear. Bodhisattva, disguised as the old Lingzuxi, would offer a pill to the Black Bear Guai as a birthday present, this pill of course being Sun Wukong. The Black Bear Guai would accept this offer and swallow the pill whole, and once inside his stomach, Wukong would transform into his normal form, and he would begin to violently attack the Black Bear from inside his stomach. This would cause a great amount of pain for the Black Bear, and while he's hunched over in pain from Wukong's relentless attacks, Bodhisattva would reveal herself, demanding the Black Bear return the golden kasai he took, as well as pledge himself over to her. The Black Bear, unable to withstand the immense amount of pain he was in, would agree, at which point Sun Wukong would emerge from the Black Bear's nostrils. Despite the Black Bear's pledge to her, Bodhisattva was worried that the evil spirit might misbehave again, so she threw a golden circlet on top of the Black Bear's head, similar to the one worn by Sun Wukong. As the Black Bear rose to his feet, ready to run through Wukong and Bodhisattva, the two of them would raise high into the air, where Bodhisattva from safety would begin to recite the spell, tightening the golden circlet around the Black Bear's head. As his head began to ache, he would drop his spear and shiver in agony on the ground. The handsome Monkey King would collapse in laughter at the sight of the Black Bear Guai rolling over in torment. His laughter would soon give way. Now it was time to put the Black Bear Guai down once and for all. In action, the great Monkey King was more than happy to execute, at which point Bodhisattva intervened. She would tell Sun Wukong to not kill the Black Bear Guai. She had a use for him, which she in fact did. Bodhisattva would place the Black Bear Guai as her mountain's guardian. Years later, the Black Bear would later be employed by the Celestial Court as one of the many deities to subdue Sun Wukong. When Wukong was finally killed, the Black Bear Guai was rewarded handsomely for his help, blessed with the gift of the great sage's eyes. This is a gift that had adverse effects on the Black Bear. It ended up stirring his old nature. He'd grow tired of being under the discipleship of Bodhisattva. He would renounce it and return to Black Wind Mountain. He would return to the old charred remains of Guanyin Temple as the Black Wind King. Upon his return, the Black Wind King had great plans in store. He would attempt to rebuild the destroyed temple and restore the scriptures burned within the great fire many years before. This was a great task that would require much help he expected to receive from the old gray wolf Lingzuxi and the Elder Jinchi. Old Lingzuxi was vital to help make sure the lesser wolf Guai had a pack leader to listen to and to follow behind. Otherwise, they wouldn't properly respect the Black Wind King's position. Elder Jinchi, on the other hand, was crucial in restoring the destroyed scriptures. As you may recall, both of these figures were dead. Old Lingzuxi was killed by Sun Wukong and Elder Jinchi had committed suicide. However, using a revival mantra learned under the discipleship of Bodhisattva Guanyin, the Black Wind King would attempt to resurrect the both of them. The first of which would be the old gray wolf Lingzuxi. Harnessing the voluntary self-sacrifice of Lesser Wolf Guai, the Black Wind King would be somewhat successful in bringing old Lingzuxi back from death. There was a small caveat to this, though. The Black Wind King's knowledge of performing such a task was limited, and as such was deeply flawed. While the old Lingzuxi was somewhat alive, yet again, he needed to continuously consume the blood of Lesser Wolf Guai to stay alive. Saddened at the initial sacrifice of the wolf Guai to first resurrect him, and growing more despondent at the thought of consuming more to continue to live, old Lingzuxi would disappear from Black Wind King's sight. Out of his own disgrace, the old Lingzuxi would go and hang himself. His body can be found within the game hanging from a tree next to the third bell you would ring to go and fight Elder Jinchi. Lesser Wolf Guai can be seen praying and commemorating their fallen leader. With the disappearance of the old gray Lingzuxi, the Black Wind King was desperate to find a replacement. He would find one in a massive gray wolf that had been exiled from the kingdom of Sichuan. It said the kingdom of Sichuan was laid to ruin, and so This massive gray wolf, who was strong and in his prime, had a band of lesser wolf guais following him. It doesn't say if he was the cause of the kingdom's destruction, but one can only imagine he was indeed the cause of it. Nonetheless, the Great Wolf and his band of lesser wolf guais would be approached by the Black Wind King, who offered them a deal. They may seek refuge in Guanyin Temple. Their lesser wolf guais that served this massive gray wolf would also increase in power, spoils, and favors from the Black Wind King, so long as the massive gray wolf agreed to pledge himself to the Black Wind King and accept the position of being Guanyin Temple's guardian. This massive wolf would accept, and with it the Black Wind King named him Lingzuxi. This is the Lingzuxi the Destined One faces in the game. Aside from the name, there was little in similarity between the old Lingzuxi and his replacement. Old Lingzuxi pursued immortality and detachment. The new one had no desire to achieve Buddhahood. This one had more of a feral nature to it. He had his heart dedicated to mastering strength and skill. Over time, he would hone his craft, equipping himself with iron claws and fangs that were powerful enough to strip the flesh off the bones of his adversaries. With Lingzuxi and his followers integrated into Blackwind Mountain, the Blackwind King would inadvertently create a new problem for himself. The new Lingzuxi, with its aggressive nature, was a stark contrast to the following of what the old Lingzuxi was. The local wolf guai would also come to grow bitter against him and his followers receiving so many favors from the Black Wind King. The local wolf guai that were devout followers of the old Lingzuxi would begin to feel cast aside and completely alienated. They had little affection for the ways of the new Lingzuxi or those that followed him. Bitterness would take root in their hearts, and in their shared sense of grievance they found a new unity of purpose. They would often gather in secret, comforting each other, sharing the old memories when the old master was in power, and they would begin to quietly plot against the new Lingzuxi. Lingzuxi, however, was prepared. Under the pretense of a roll call, he gathered the local wolf guais into the temple, and when the time was right, he would give the signal to his loyal guards to seize the more rebellious wolf guai. This would result in the temple erupting into a massive chaotic scene, with both sides of the lesser wolf guai fighting. Lingzuxi leaped down from the roof into the crowd, ready to devour all who dared to betray him or challenge his position. Guangxi, the old wolf guai who had served under Elder Jinchi when he was alive, would take a part in this rebellion. Following the death of Elder Jinchi and the burning of Guanyin Temple, Guangxi disappeared into the mountain, having little to no contact with anyone. This made many believe he had in fact been killed by the great fire that claimed Guanyin Temple, but in truth, Guangxi was deep within Blackwind Mountain, mastering a weapon he had forged from the red tides that had claimed his home. In a sense, making peace with his remorse and controlling the source of so much pain that had fallen upon him. Old Lingzuxi was also the master of Guangxi, and as such, when the new Lingzuxi began to devour the lesser wolf guai as punishment for the rebellion, Guangxi would appear and hold off Lingzuxi in order for the lesser wolf guai to escape. When the scene at the temple quieted down, word would reach the Blackwind King of what had transpired. He was ready to slay all the wolf guai when the WhiteClad Noble mediated the situation and peace was restored. Spared from death doesn't necessarily mean there wasn't a perpetual air of apprehension though. Since that day forward, the local wolf guai refused to come anywhere near the temple, fearful of the Blackwind King's wrath and bitter against the new Lingzuxi's unrightful claim as head of the wolf guai. Guangxi was not spared either though. He would be placed as the guardian of the first bell that sealed away the spirit of Elder Jinchi. We discuss more of Elder Jinchi's resurrection by the Blackwind King and Elder Jinchi's bells guarded by the two monks that both failed him and encouraged his greed. Those monks were Guangxi and Guanmo. So, to not repeat everything I've already covered in the previous video, the bottom line here is the Blackwind King attempted to resurrect Elder Jinchi, but it didn't go as expected. The stitched corpse of Elder Jinchi would fuse with the gold, silver, and copper coins he had buried with him. The body would be reanimated, but the soul was lost, and as such, the body became a maddened golem that wandered the mountain. This golem is the wandering white spirit we are able to fight in the game. It's Elder Jinchi's body, or at least his physical body. His spirit, or his soul on the other hand, would return to his body only once all three bells are rang. The WhiteClad Noble's backstory is a bit more murky. He guards the third bell that sealed away Elder Jinchi's spirit, but he makes it known to the Destined One once the Destined One defeats him, he has no loyalty to the Blackwind King. He claims he was placed there as his brother's eyes and ears, feigning loyalty to guard the path for the Black Bear. Within the game's journal, Snake Guai is responsible for mediating the situation between Lingzuxi, the Blackwind King, and the Lesser Wolf Guai. A snake Guai is also referred to in the Journey to the West, or more specifically in Journey to the West, it's a white scholar whose true form is a snake Guai. However, in Journey to the West, this snake Guai was killed by Sun Wukong. There is no information on the WhiteClad Noble being a resurrected form of the White Scholar. It's possible the brother the WhiteClad Noble is referring to is in fact the White Scholar that was killed, or it could be another entity entirely. The information on him is a bit lacking beyond him being placed here as his brother's eyes and ears, and of course guarding the temple on behalf of the Black Bear Guai. But with Lingzuxi guarding the temple, Guanmo, Guanxi, and the WhiteClad Noble guarding the three bells of Elder Jinchi's spirit, the Black Wind King would continue to consolidate his power within the mountain. For 500 years, he would work on rebuilding the temple, restoring what scriptures he could, and raising a garrison of lesser wolf Guai to defend his small kingdom. He would do so by offering them favors, banquets, and pills similar to how the old Lingzuxi would craft pills for the Black Bear Guai. Only now these pills were no longer exclusive for just the Black Bear Guai to partake in. Instead, he would allow lesser wolf Guai to enjoy these gifts. At some point, the Black Wind King would place the gifted eyes of Sun Wukong on top of the Temple of Black Wind Mountain's summit to also trick the lesser Yao Guais into offerings. It wasn't until one day the Destined One arrived on Black Wind Mountain, unveiling this long history of the mountain and the many deities he faced. Defeating them one by one, he would eventually come to face off the Black Bear, who would initially challenge the Destined One within the form of the arrogant Black Wind King. Once he was defeated, he would assume his true form as the Black Bear on top of the mountain's summit. Upon being defeated a second time, the Black Bear would request mercy, sharing that if he's spared, he'd return to his discipleship under Bodhisattva Guanyin, and even willing to place the golden circlet on top his head once more. The Black Bear Guai would also share he has no idea how to utilize the power within the Great Sage's relic that was bestowed upon him. All that he knows is that this relic has an eerie power deep within it, and he knew nothing more beyond to enshrine it on top of the temple's peak. He would relinquish it into the custody of the Destined One and disappear from the mountain.